Hello everybody, this is Randy, and this is going to be a updated guide for 290% for Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and this will involve using the Climbless route for it. This route is slightly different from Zik's 290% guide, which buys climb. Zik's guide is still a very good guide to use and learn from, and is a great entry to this category because it's still mostly up to date, just with a few strats that have been discovered after he released it aren't in it, but for the most part it's very, very good. And you can absolutely learn from it, you can absolutely get good times from it. And his route is a bit less volatile than Climbless. I'm also going to be showing this on the PC version of the game. There's a little bit of major routing differences between console and PC, and I've never run 290% on console, so I'm going to focus on the PC version. In Zik's guide, he goes over the console differences. To start off this guide, there's a few things I need to explain before actually going into any of the routing and any of the levels. So first off, FPS. As you can see in my top right hand corner, I'm displaying my FPS and I'm running at 30 FPS. You have to have your FPS shown if you're on PC, and it needs to be capped between 30 and 60. The reason why we run 290% on 30 FPS is that jump height is tied to FPS, so you jump higher on lower FPS. Higher FPSs, like 50 FPS, are used in things like Spyro 1, and some people use it for some categories in Spyro 3, due to it making gems from enemies fall faster. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that you can do most of the skips and stuff in this round on 50s, but it'll be slightly more difficult as your jump height will be lower. I'm also not sure if you can do the Climbless jumps that you need in 50 FPS, as I've never tried them myself. Second thing is waiting 75 to 90 minutes before a run. This sounds really stupid, but there was an interesting thing found by runner Lackluster, also known as Crystalline Shine in the speedrunning Discord. They were attempting to do a Climbless jump in the Autumn Plains homeworld, and found it become much easier after about 90 minutes. Other runners, including myself, have attempted this jump and found it to be almost impossible. It is still possible before waiting, but it's very, very, very difficult. But upon waiting 90 minutes, with the game open, it becomes much easier. It seems to be that having the game open for at least 75 minutes gives some effects to Spyro's jump or his hover. I'm not sure. But it makes jumps that are a lot more difficult, they become easier. Examples of these jumps are End of Level Jump in Idle Springs, the Autumn Plains Climbless Jump, and Magma Cone Climbless Jumps. They all become very much so easier. And I have zero clue as to what actually happens to make these jumps easier and more viable, but something happens. All these jumps are possible without the waiting, but are much, much more difficult. What I do is I leave my game open and unpaused in Autumn Plains, and then I go scroll Twitter, watch streams, or I take a nap. You can also play other games and get the same effect from having the game open. I have done 2 Spyro 1 90% NBS runs and have gotten the effect after. Also, after some point, you might lose the effect, which is why it's important after runs to make sure you can still do the jump in Autumn Plains. Third, beginning a run. Before beginning a run, you need to have live split and be using the built-in load remover for the PC version. The load remover doesn't work for console. If you're having trouble with this, ask in the Spyro Discord, which is linked below, or my Discord, which is linked below. Also, feel free to DM me any questions on Discord if you don't want to ask in a public space. So after waiting the 75 to 90 minutes you need to exit from Glimmer from a new save at least once, and then once you get into Summer Forest for the first time, you can quit game and then start doing runs. Doing this impacts a later glitch where you need to store a Speedway level, which I will explain once we get there. Fourth, perfect hovers. Perfect hovers mean getting the most height possible out of a glide and hover. You can achieve perfect hovers by gliding at the peak of your jump and then hovering as early as you can. If you press the hover button, which is triangle or Y depending on your controller, or it's F1 keyboard if you're using keyboard, too early, you'll have your glide cancelled, which just means that you weren't in the air long enough. Also, to preserve height in the air, you will see runners either do a wiggle in the air or glide a bit to the left or right before hovering. A good place to practice this is doing a jump up to this gem and then up to where the power-up gate is. Fifth, the console injector. So there's a way to practice levels using the console injector, which is linked in the Discord, and it can be used to practice levels with all the gems and enemies reloaded every time. You can also use this injector to speed up the waiting time to be able to practice with the effect given after the waiting by typing slow-mo 100 into the command line. But using the console injector to speed up this waiting time before doing a submitted run is strictly not allowed. You can use it to practice, but using it to bypass the waiting time or having it open during a submission is considered cheating. The console injector is also not the best way to practice, as certain enemies might not be where they normally are. You can't take any intentional deaths that we do. I prefer using a save file that has the levels done to practice rather than the console injector. Finally, I'm going to show all the fast strats, maybe a few backups, but I'm going to try to go for all the big dick strats in this guide. So, let's begin. So starting off in 2NE, obviously we're skipping cutscenes, but all you need to collect in this run is the 14 end of level talismans and 1200 gems, which you need to buy 3 levels: Aquaria Towers, Shady Oasis, and Zephyr. You don't need to collect a single orb, and you don't have to buy a single power-up, which are Swim, Climb, and Head Bash. You also don't have to buy any Speedway levels, but you may buy AC Speedway to save yourself some headache, which obviously I'll explain later. The gems that I get in this route are what I believe to be the fastest way to get to 1200 gems. And you really only need to collect 800 gems, as you get 400 gems from the one Speedway we do in this run. So let's begin. So Glimmer is the first level. We start in a homeworld, or not in a homeworld, we start in a level, not a homeworld. So we have to get to the end of this level to have access to any of the other levels. So obviously we skip the cutscenes by mashing triangle. After you see the adventure begins, there's going to be this guy named Pogo, and he's standing right there. What you're going to want to do after you see those is you're going to hold up and left, and you can see my controller on the screen. I hold up, left, and charge, and normally I charge to about here, and that'll get around his trigger, and then I hold forward, charge, and jump up here. First, I grab these gems. I grab this one. I make sure to land on one of these gems, so then Sparks will pick up the other one. If you don't, he'll pick up only one of them. So from here, there's a Zoe here that's going to try to zap you and explain what she does, which is she auto-saves you. But that takes time, so we're not going to do it. From here, after you collect these gems, in one motion you can charge jump and then just glide past her, and she won't talk to you. I try to stay a bit to the right of her, otherwise I think you can bonk on her. So I try to stay a bit to the right. You can also sometimes collect that one gem. That other one isn't very good, though. So then I charge into these, and then we're out of the cave. From the cave here, there's essentially 3 options. And basically, we're trying to skip paying Moneybags 100 gems here. So what we want to do is figure out some way to get past him and get to the other side, because that's where the talisman is, without having to kill 10 enemies to activate the power-up gate. Otherwise, we're paying 100 gems. So from here, there's 3 options. There's 2 options for the left torch and 1 option for the right torch. I will say that the right torch is the fastest of the torches, because it's a more straight line than doing any of the other 2. So from out of the gate, what you can do is charge in. This is one option, and then jump up to here. And you can stand on this little piece of the rock. Then from here, you can jump, glide, and you can get up on top of that torch. I'll try to show it here. You jump. Again, I try to do that wiggle just to save some height. And then from here, you just charge jump across. You charge jump, glide, and across. The second option, I don't want to collect any of these. Whatever. The second option, I'm just going to kill him. The second option is also going to the left torch, but instead of going on the rocks, you come to here, you jump up here, and I try to line up, if I do this method, I try to line up Spyro's left foot with the little kind of cross-section of all the 3 lines there. And then I haven't done this one in a while because I don't normally do it, so I'm not the best at it. but you hover and get up. I could have charge jumped off. But yeah, I'm not the best at this one. But you can get up to that one that way. I'll try to show it in motion once more. Or just, I'll never get it again. There. And then you would turn and charge jump off and end up there. The third option, which is the fastest, is going to the right torch. The right torch, I'm fairly new at, so I'm not the most consistent at it, but I normally can get up here. So I try to jump up to there, and then from here, I jump. There I would have been fine because I would have charged, but I'm trying to land on top. I don't like the wiggle much for this one. You can see runners like Dr. House. They'll do like a wiggle and then hover. I just like to hold one direction and hover up. This is where your perfect hover is going to be tested. So from here, obviously, no matter whichever way is easiest, this right torch is the fastest if you can get it. But it's only faster. The best golds in the world for each side, it's about a 0.8 difference from doing the rocks to doing just regular right torch. So then once you get up onto a torch and you make your way across, I like to grab this 5 gem, and then we're at the end of the level talisman. Make sure when you're here to just charge down and into this guy. Sometimes you can get caught you can get caught here and it'll like teleport you back. I can't show it now, but if you're just there normally from here, you can hold up and then charge, and you see how I bonked there? But as this gate is getting built, you can charge through it because it doesn't get built before you end up talking to this guy. So you can charge in here, get this 10 after charging through here, and then immediately turn around and exit Glimmer. So that's our first level. So next up we have Idle Springs. Obviously we're skipping cutscenes because they all count for loadless times. So starting here, we see Allura there, we see some gems. That's kind of where we have to make our way because we don't have swim and it's not really any other way to go. So from here, I just hold the charge button, I jump over this river, and then I get to here. I end up right here. And Allura's talk trigger, it doesn't quite get to this step, like you can stand on here, but I like to just go from here. You're just going to jump as high as you can, hold forward, and then glide to get past her trigger. And you should also pick up both of these 5 gems. So you can see that. I got past it and avoided talking to her because talking to her is slow. From here, there's kind of 2 options. So like I said, that you have to buy 3 levels. One of those levels is the 6th level in our run, which is Aquaria Towers, and we need 400 gems by it. So, as you can see, right now we're at about 100. So, right in this basket, there's a 10 gem, which is pretty good, and you don't really have to veer off the path, but I don't like getting that 10 gem, so I just charge off. I charge to here, and then I charge and just hold my charge, and I can get these. This one is also a 5 gem that you can get if you kind of aren't too confident in your run, or in your gem count rather, when you're starting. But yeah, then we enter Idle Springs. So the shtick of Idle Springs is killing these guys and then having the builders open the locks on the doors. So starting off here, you don't want to talk to this guy. I don't even know his name. So you're going to hold right, charge around, get those 2 1 gems. Then you're going to come here and get this guy. He's going to go, and while he's opening the door, you can go get stuff. So I'm going to get these 2 1 gems and a 5 gem. Another thing here is you're going to see me collect a bunch of fodder. I'm going to try to collect 5 fodder in this level. You don't actually need to eat any of them. You just need to release them. And what I'm releasing them for is every 10th butterfly, you get a blue butterfly, which gives you a life and a full heal. And we want the full heal for the first boss. So we're going to try to pad our stats going into, or pad our fodder count before going in and fighting him. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to jump, flame that guy. I'm going to release this fodder. Come here. collect these gems, kill this fodder. From this room, there is a way to skip this Zoe. I've never once gotten it, so I don't ever go for it. I don't even know how to do it. I don't know where to stand, but you can. I believe Zik knows how to do it, and maybe some other people, but I don't like doing it at all. So I just charge in, and then I talk to her, and then I'm running. Normally you catch this idol at around here. It just isn't because I was talking. So I'll just try to let him go until we're... So normally you get him like here. Then I run here, collect these gems. This level's pretty simple, so collect this fodder. I release this life bottle, because that counts. Then here, I jump up. I like to kill this guy first. Oh, my flame didn't go long enough. Oh, that's unfortunate. I kill this guy. I try not to collect the fodder, otherwise you have to manually collect those 4-1 gems. Come here. And then this Zoe is much easier to skip. I just stand here, I jump forward, and I glide. So from here, there's kind of 2 options you can do. Again, there's some good gems, 2 5s, 2 1s, then there's 2 2s in these. But with the inclusion of the end of level jump, we're just going to skip these because it's too much time to get them. So you continue charging, you kill this guy, I run to here, and we're going to try to get up to that ledge. As you can see, it doesn't matter. Even if we do, this guy will still open the door. Sometimes he'll get stuck here. I was kind of hoping he would have gotten stuck. Sometimes he'll get stuck here if you do the jump. What you do then is you either reset because, you know, he's stuck, or you have to hit this jump. If you miss the jump, what you do is you... Let's see if I can get it. So that's the jump. You jump up to here, and then you jump to the talisman. That's the reason why we kill the guy from here, is that if we miss the jump, it's faster for him to open the door. So we kill him, we come to here, I aim kind of here, I jump. So like if something like that happens, you want to just turn around and go up the door. But hopefully, if you get it first time, no. This is a fairly new involvement, so I'm not the best at it. What am I doing? Yeah, so you get up here, and then you just turn, and you run here, and you'll collect the talisman before the door opens, which is faster. So then we come to talk to Foreman Max, collect here, and we pause and exit level. We don't actually have to exit through any of the portals, because they're kind of slow, so we can just exit the level. So coming out of Idle Springs, our next level is Colossus. So on the way, we're going to pick up these gems. We're going to get this vase, because this vase is a 25 gem. We're going to turn and going to try to kill that fodder. Sometimes you miss this fodder, because it's kind of RNG where he goes. You're going to come here. I try to stay on like this line, this kind of different colored square here, because Moneybags wants to talk to you to buy swim. But I don't want to buy swim. Buying swim sucks. So then I just come in, jump, and enter Colossus. So this is Colossus. Pretty quick level. Again, we're just going to run to the end, get the talisman. But it involves sequence breaking. So as you can see, there's a brother there that wants to talk to us, but we don't want to talk to him. So you just hold up left on your controller. You collect these 2. You come to Brother Arnie. Talk to Brother Arnie. I pick up this 2 gem, and then I wait at this door. You can't actually go through it, even if it looks open, so I hold up, and then as soon as I start moving forward, I hold charge. We don't need to kill any enemies, so we're just going to run past them. So this is where perfect hovering is going to be a test. So we can stand on these idols, which will help us kind of sequence break. So what I do is I run, I jump from this snow pile, because this snow pile gives a bit of extra little height. I try to look at his arm, at his left arm, like the arm on his right, or on the right rather. I jump, do a perfect hover, and I try to get here. And then if you're fast, you can kind of charge jumps to save a little bit of time, and then you're up to here. Now there's two ways to get up to that ledge. That's what we're trying to get to. There's this way, which is a tad slower, where you just then perfect hover up to here and charge jump. What you can do is after you're here, after you're on top of the idol, you can come here, and I don't want to fall. You can do a little bit of a wall glide to kind of maintain some of your height. So that's also another big difference between PC and console, is that on PC, wall glides can give you height, whereas on console they don't. You can maintain some height in certain places on console, but it doesn't give you any height. So I get to here, I do a jump, I kind of tap into the wall, and then I hover up. So it'll look all in motion. I'll show you what it looks like all in motion. So perfect hover up here, you do that. If you're a little bit, like that was obviously pretty fast because I've practiced this and done it a bunch. If you need to take time to set up, I try to get pretty parallel, jump up, tap in a couple times, maybe like 3 times, and then I hover up. From here, once you kind of get the hang of it, and if you need to just come here because it's a bit easier and just do a perfect hover, and that it doesn't really lose that much time going there, it's just a bit faster to not have to do that. From here, he normally doesn't kill you because normally you're going fast. I collect these 2 5 bases, and then I run around the right side of this idol, and then I hold the charge and just completely get up here without worrying about it. I'm just going to kill him. You can, if you want to get a different line, maybe a little bit of a better line, do that. Just like an easier line maybe. Because going from here and then right, and you kind of have to do like that, it's gonna be a little tough. If you need to, it's totally fine to just get up here by hovering. You don't need to hover though. So we're just gonna charge in and just glide up here. From here, I like to go on the right side of this metal chest. You can go on the left, but I find I just end up being on the right side anyways. We're going to try to get up to that ledge. That ledge can be a little tough. It's normally not too bad with the effect after waiting the 90 minutes, but it still can be a little tough when first learning. So I'm going to charge jump off. This one I do a little wiggle, and then I hover up to it. So I'll try to show it. No, I guess I don't. My muscle memory said I didn't. I just tap right a little bit, and then hover up here. So all in motion, it'll look something like this. And then you're up here. So this jump, it can be a little weird, but just try to charge, and at the peak of your charge, I like to just, go a little bit to one direction to maintain a little bit of height and hover up. It looks a lot scarier than it is, but it definitely can be a tough jump when you're first starting out. I'll try to show it in full from the beginning here. So you come over here, perfect hover up here, perfect hover up here, bang bang, here, and then you're here. And then I charge off, and I run in between the flag and the wall, and there's the Yeti. And then I just run in, and the Yeti cutscene starts playing. So from Colossus, normally you exit every level. What we're going to do from Colossus is actually guidebook, pressing, if you're on the PS, pressing the kind of touchpad, you can go back to Summer Forest, or if you're on Xbox, I think it's the select button maybe. You're going to go into the guidebook, press down once to get to Summer Forest, and then we're going to guidebook back to Summer Forest. So, after guidebooking back to Summer Forest, we're back in front of the Glimmer portal. And this is going to be the first mandatory frame perfect pause of the run. So what we're going to try to do is enter the Glimmer portal, pause on the first frame of entering the portal, and then it'll show that we're in Glimmer, but we'll still be in the Summer Forest homeworld. So what this will do is if we do that and then exit the level, what we're going to try to do is store a loading screen, and what that loading screen is the loading screen for Ocean Speedway, I believe. I don't 100% know if that's exactly how it works, but that's what I've been told at least. But either way, however it works, we're going to try to wrong warp from Glimmer to Ocean Speedway, which will skip buying the swim power-up. There is a wall glide that you can do instead of this, which Zik goes over in his guide as well. So what I like to do is from here, I hold back, and then I snap the camera with L2. I get to here. I have two spots. There's a rock. I think it's this rock. And then I'll roll in and try to pause. Or I run to here. I make myself parallel, walk forward, and roll. If you're someone like Dr. House, you just turn around and like charge in. But he's insane at this game. He's a god, so what I do is I come here. So I got it. I got the pause. You see that it changed from having Summer Forest at the bottom to showing Glimmer. And it had the little saving icon. So I have paused on the first frame of entering, and I have the Glimmer pause. So from here, we hit exit level, and then exit to Summer Forest. And what you'll see is that Spyro's still in his roll animation, and the loading screen is just going to look really, really, really weird. It's just going to do a lot of weird things. And hopefully what it'll do is put us out of Ocean Speedway. There is a possibility that you get put back in front of Glimmer, which I just did. If this happens, I just reset because I'm not sure if it's going to mess with the level storage that we're going to do later in the run, which obviously I'll explain once we get to it, but it might. So even if it doesn't, I just also don't do it because it's, I think it's probably like a 8-second time loss maybe. Yeah. So let me try again. Come here. Got the pause again. Hopefully we get it. Also, if I enter Glimmer, I warp back to Summer Forest and then I reset because I believe that entering the level, explicitly entering it, does impact the counter for level storage. So hopefully we get warped here. That'd be the dream. Nice. So we got warped to Ocean Speedway. So from here, this is Ocean Speedway, which skipped buying the swim power up. I just hold charge, I turn right, go down these steps, and we're going to go to our next level, Hurricos, picking up 20 gems on the way. So Hurricos has some neat out of bounds. So at the start, normally what you have to do is get those spark plugs and go through the kind of gates. Hi, Sparks. Go through the gates by stopping them. But we don't want to do that because it's slow. There's an animation. So I kill that guy, get those gems because they're pretty good gems. I come to this rock. I stand about here, and then I'm going to do similarly to what I did in Colossus, where I jumped and kind of tapped into the wall and then hover. So I jump, tap into the wall, and I hovered up here. You can, if you start in the wrong spot, you can get that auto hover that I got right there. I can't get the bad one now. If you hold in too much, you'll bonk. I'm trying to get the auto hover that I sometimes get, but I can't get it now. But whatever. You just are doing a perfect hover. There, that's the one. If you start from like too far back, you'll get an auto hover there. So you want to try to stand right about here. Jump, glide, tap into the wall, and jump up to here. And then from here, we want to get up to where that windmill is. So I'll try to line up with Spyro's mohawk, kind of facing at this little point. There's like a point on this rock right here. I'll try to show it. On this rock, right where Spyro's right horn is. I try to line my mohawk up with that. And do the same thing. You're going to jump. I like hold in more on this one. And then I hover up. So I jump. Did it too much there? Did it too much there? Didn't start in the right spot. And you do it there. So come a bit forward from that, and then you're here. There is a backup for this strat that loses time, but if you're having some trouble with this, you also kind of can see where the like rock wall kind of lowers. You're kind of aiming for like to land like here. So you know, let's see, come up, come here. The backup, if you can't get it, if you can get up to here, but can't get over, what you're gonna do is you're gonna jump over to here. You're gonna perfect hover up onto this windmill. You're gonna jump here, and then you can easily get up here. But that's kind of slow, so we're just gonna do that. From here, you jump, get those, and then you turn around. And I try to do it. I try to put Spyro's right side by like where the shadow is, where the like blades, the shadow of the blades are. And then we're gonna try to get onto this windmill. The interesting thing about windmills is that you can land for like a second and then you'll slide off. But what you can do is you can just jump. So if you time it right, you won't have to wait. But we're gonna try to jump from this to out of bounds. So we're gonna jump, we're gonna glide, we're gonna get onto here. And from here we can get out of bounds. I'm gonna let it go in, but we can just walk through here, and then that's the talisman room down there. Oh, I thought I was gonna get pulled. I'm just gonna go back out. So from here, you're just gonna run and charge jump off. As long as you hold your charge, you will get through there. If you neutral jump, you will end up on top of this whole building, and you'll have to go back in and onto the thing to get out of bounds. So if you just charge jump and hold the charge, you'll get there. And then we talk to Brainy and get our 4th talisman. And then obviously exit level. That split, the Hurricos split, is a pretty major reset point just because of the wrong warp. So after leaving Hurricos, we're just going to turn and quickly go into the next level, Sunny Beach. Sunny Beach is the first of what you actually are supposed to have swim for, but we don't have the swim power up, so we're going to have to get creative. So at the start here, where these baby turtles are is random. So I normally try to go right a bit. I hold charge and just try to jump over them. Then you jump up onto this turtle. And if you are not confident in your gem count or whatever, if you're a bit unsure, you can jump up to this side and then run around and collect the other gems, but you don't need them. Here we want to try to collect as little gems as possible. So I go from this turtle, I do another perfect hover, and get up to... Oh, I fell. Yeah, I'm just going to do that again. So from this, you jump up, perfect hover. You perfect hover up, and then you charge off. I don't know if... Yeah, you can land. So you jump up here, and then I charge jump off. I collect these 2 10s, and then I come down here. When I come down here, I fall down, and I try to spin, and then as I'm spinning, I flame to get this turtle set off. The way these turtles work, and you kind of see it, is he'll walk away after you flame, and then he'll walk back to his home position. So we're going to try to abuse that by getting him to walk and occupy a space that we're also occupying. So what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to flame him, and I try to keep his right side almost in the wall. He can sometimes get stuck here. We just kind of got to try to flame him out. And then, when you see how he turns back, and he does that, we're going to try to stand after he turns. So he's going to turn around right here about. There's a little spot here where you can kind of stand and you're not on the step, and you just hold in. And we're going to try to get him to push us through the wall here. He can sometimes shoot you up and whatnot, so he's a little finicky sometimes. I don't really like him. This seems to be a good one, and he's just going to push us through this wall. You can see him vibrating over there. But that's kind of the setup you want. You want to keep him on this right side. You want him to turn left. If he turns right, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And then you get to here. From here, it looks really weird because we're out of bounds in a swimming level. And we don't have to swim, but luckily the tanks of water, because they're they're tanks. They're not planes like they are in OG. We can charge forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to do 4 charging jumps forward. And then from here, directly to the right is the end of the level, where you're normally supposed to get to. By swimming through different sections, all these sections, but going through those sections is slow. So, there is a recent skip discovered by Cameron Vengeance and myself. So we're going to call it the Randy Vengeance strat, I guess, or whatever. It's just turtle skip. Because there's a second turtle here that we don't like. So from here, from after the 4th one, it's kind of hard to show really slow. I'm just going to charge jump off, and I'm going to go down here. So I'm still out of bounds here. I'm below the ground, but I'm out of bounds. I try to look for this, like this pillar, and just get below it. What you normally would do if you're having trouble with this, you would just go up, you would just charge and glide right, and you'll land on the water. And then you can just flame the turtle up to the button and get to it that way. From here, you just hold X because you don't have swim, so we're going to doggy paddle. And then we're going to, come here. And if you know Sunny Beach, you know that this area up here is turtle soup, but we don't want to do it, but there's a tank of water. So we're going to abuse that by turning up, and then we can glide, or not glide, we can swim, doggy paddle, using this extended kind of tank. We can swim up to here, and then you can see, hopefully I can get the turn. To the left there is the talisman room. So we're gonna swim up to the top, and then just turn and glide in, and we're in the talisman room. Unfortunately, the door's locked, but that's how you do it. I'll put in a clip right here after this. I'll put in a clip of me doing this in motion, probably from my most recent PB. Oh, look at this turtle setup. Oh, oh, 4 charge jumps. Oh, look at the glide.
I probably will.
Out of bounds, but in bounds.
Don't say that.
I mean, I collect those gems.
Oh,
Going up the tank. Jump up, accidentally bonk, waste time.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Okay.
oh, I'm kind of schnasty.
That was really weird.
But yeah, after this, we exit level and just leave. And that's how you skip needing swim for this level. Next up, we got Aquaria Towers. Aquaria Towers, super short level. And it's going to be our first bot level of the run. So we have 388 gems, which is good. The least amount of gems coming out of Sunny Beach you want to have, I believe, is 370 or 368, because there's, let's see, 55, yeah, 350, 368, because there's 32 gems on the way. But normally I'm around 372 to 375. So I come over here, I jump up these first 2 steps, collect this 2. I come to this button, I flame it, I click these 2 5s. I miss this vase because I'm a god. So normally, right now, oh, we're at 420. Let's fucking go. Normally here, I'm at around 405, 410 gems. I just have, collect a couple extra just from showing off different stuff. And then you come here, and then you talk to Moneybags, the asshole of this game. So the only thing is that we don't... If there was a way to get around this wall, which used to be in the game, which was called Roll in Air, you could just get into Aquaria Towers normally without paying him, but unfortunately there has yet to be a skip found to get over the wall that was there. So if somebody wants to find one, then find one. It's tough, but I believe in you. From Moneybags, after talking to him, I hold upright, I charge, and then I'm going to try to flame one of these sheep, which will then be the 7th sheep that I've released. So I come here, I flame one. You can, if you're down one, try to flame a second one. But otherwise, I just collect one of the ones that are in here, even though it might lose me maybe half a second. So Aquaria Towers, another swimming level. Normally you hit button and fill it up with water. So from here, I'm going to charge right. I don't know if that counts. That shouldn't count for me. Oh, he's going to try to shoot me. And then I flame. Oh, that's going to count now. Okay, so I'm at 8 fodder now. Whatever. I flame, and you can kind of flame and charge, and the flame will normally hit that button. So from the button, you're going to be in this position. You're going to hold down right and go up to the top of the water. And then you're going to go to this 4, because that's the route. Up there, this platform up here is the end of level platform that you're normally supposed to get to by swim. But we don't have swim, so we can't go through the level. And we don't want to pay 100 gems for a submarine that's in this level. What you're going to try to do is there's an invisible platform, and I'm glad that I got it on the first time. There's just an invisible platform here that you can stand on. It's a little finicky to get on. You just kind of have to learn a bit where the placement is and just have like a general idea. I normally am not that... Yeah, normally that's what happens, is you kind of can see that I'm like hitting it, but like sliding off. So you just have to do it until you get up. And then from here, once you get up, I like to try to aim for that corner. So I try to jump straight on, and then I hold right to gain some height. Or to keep my height, rather, not gain it, but just kind of keep some height. And then you're going to perfect hover on top. You're going to jump also and hold forward for the first little bit. So jump, hold right. Just because if you don't hold forward for the first part of the jump, you won't have enough, I guess, horizontal movement. I'll try to just turn. Because if you just like, if I just... See how I'm like, I just didn't get enough horizontal movement to even make the jump. So I jump forward, then I get up. From here, that's the end of the talisman, end of the level. You can flame that sheep as well. If you're down, you want to try to be entering with at least 7. If you're at 8 or 9, it's fine, but you want to leave the 10th for the next level. You talk to Hoppo. You get this talisman. And then, obviously, exit level. And then now it's time for our first boss. Skipping cutscenes, obviously. So from here, if you want, at the start, if you're down a fodder and miss that one, you can turn and get this fodder. So that was my 10th one, which is a bit unfortunate. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, I'll collect it. Then if you don't, you can just run straight through here. I collect this one 5 gem. I talk to Alora, and then I jump down here. So the reason why we enter with 7, trying to enter with 7 fodder is because you at least always get 3 fodder, because we're going to try to take all of Crush's damage, or hits. So Crush will try to walk between those 2 platforms, or those 2 circles, like the one he's standing right in front of, and then the one that's on the right there. You want him to just keep walking between those 2. And he shoots blue from the first 2, then he shoots orange for the next 2, and then he walks in between. That one will be blue, that one will be orange. So we're going to try to take all of his hits, and we do that by getting fodder. So we get at least 3 fodder. If you get 3 fodder on the first drop, I mean, that's all you get. You only get 3 fodder. If you get 2 fodder or 1 fodder, it means you'll get more than 3. So if you get the life before entering, you kind of want to try to get more than 3 fodder. It's basically random. I haven't really found a consistent setup. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't to get more. But yeah, so first we're just going to charge, and we're going to go here. There is something that I will link in a clip at the end of this. Let's see if I get it. I turned the camera, so I got 3 fodder there. It was also unfortunate that he walked backwards to that left one. You want to try to keep him going back and forth. So a bit unfortunate. But in a clip that I'll link at the... Okay, that was fine, because now he's back on cycle. At the end of this fight, after I show it, I'll put a link to one of Dr. House's clips where he gets a double hit on a couple of the hits. So meaning he gets to take 2 damages off of Crush. I have not found a consistent way to get it yet, but we'll see. If I do, I will add it to the video. So normally what you want to do is you want him to be On 2 hits here, walk into this blue one, because you can get the double hit on only the blue ones and only when it's this blue one. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to stand close. I'm going to try to flame at a certain time and then get hit, but then my flame will still be active. I might not get it. I might get it. We'll see. If I don't get it, I'll put a clip in. If I do get it, yay. I didn't get it. So then you just run away. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to dodge this attack, but if you got the full heal, you would have enough fodder to hit this. You also want to try to be green exiting this. You can also just stand underneath Crush. None of these hurt you. And you can look at Crush's fat dumper. So you want to try to be on green or 0 sparks leaving Crush, because we're going to take an intentional death in the next level, and having taking the intentional death on 0 sparks, because we're going to try to take a hit and then an intentional death, you will you'll die 2 seconds faster. So that's the first hub. That's Summer Forest. All right, welcome into Autumn Plains. This is where I just spend most of my time waiting between each runs, by the way, just opening up Autumn Plains. So starting off, we're going to go into Crystal Glacier. So I know I said that you should be on green sparks, and normally I am. I just happened to mess up a little bit just because I was trying to show the levels. So starting off here in Crystal Glacier, there's these 3 guys that we have to unfreeze to get thrown over. So the first 2 guys, you can flame them with a double flame there. You can go like here and then flame. Let's see if I can even... You can do that and it'll flame both. And then for this guy, there's a fast dialogue that you can get. I like to stand about like a flame distance away. And then I do that, and normally I get it. So let's see if we can get it. I didn't. If you get it, he'll just do his dialogue right away. It's kind of... Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. So once you get launched over here, there's 2 things. So because I'm on 0 sparks, I'm just going to quickly grab one of these. So normally you'd be at this point, you'd be at here. There's a 10 and a 5 in those 2 baskets. You don't have to get them, but they're good if you want to get them. So we're going to kill souls because we want to try to skip a bridge later in this level. So for the first part, I jump over and I flame this guy and get 1 soul. The thing with the souls is that some of them, there's particular guys, particular enemies that aren't very nice and sometimes don't give you their soul. They'll fall off the map. And especially this second guy right here, this one guy right here, he's a bitch. So you're gonna try to get around him and then flame him so he hits this. Because if he hits this, he'll always give you a soul. That was also a sick wall glide. He'll give you a soul. Oh, he's aiming at me. See that? So what I like to do is I like to run around, collect these vases, go just a bit past him, turn around and flame him into that. So I'll try to show you that. So see how we hit that? You get the soul then. Otherwise, he flies off and flies off the map. So after doing that, after making sure I'm at 2, I'll do that, kill him, and then I'll turn, kill this one to get to 3, and then kill this one to get to 4. And then here, I'm going to take this damage, so then I'm at 0 sparks. And normally what you have to do to get up this is you flame each of these, I think 4 builders, and then they make little steps for you here, and you just jump up. But we can get around that by doing another perfect hover. If I can hit it, but you can do a perfect hover onto this torch. So what I like to do is after taking the hit, I take the hit here, I go to here, I charge. I'd like to be like here, like right in line with the torch. I do the perfect hover and you get up to here. You can just jump from there, but I try to charge jump off of it like that. Just slightly faster, but not that big of a deal. But this jump can be a little difficult. Just it's, you know, perfect hover. So perfect hovers can be a little finicky. Sometimes you'll fall off. The reason also why I like to do the charge is sometimes if you aren't gonna make it, the charge will sometimes give you like a little platform, I think. Okay, so once I'm here, I've gotten saved by the Zoe. So there's a bridge in this area, in this level, they have to pay 200 gems for, or you can skip it by doing something called a soul dupe. So obviously we're doing 90%, so you want to not have to pay for things, because that means we would have to collect 200 more gems, which would be a lot of time. So what we can do is we need 15 souls to activate the fly power-up gate, but there's only, I believe, 13 enemies before. Oh no, no. I don't want him to chase me. I went too close. I want him to be where he is. Go back. Okay, he is. So I want to duplicate these two souls. And what we're going to do by doing that is we're going to kill both of them really quick. And then we're going to come back here, run under Zoe, and get a save before their bodies despawn. What that'll do is it'll save the game as if we have the 8 or the 6 souls after killing them, but then their bodies will still be alive, so then the game will just duplicate their souls. You can duplicate them as many times as you want, so you could, in theory, do it up to like over 100 if you wanted, but we only need to do it once if you get it. I have a kind of setup for it, so normally he's not standing under the ground, but it should be fine. But I run right in front of this, I'm going to call them ice wizards. I run right in front of that ice wizard. I stand, I turn the camera like this, so I'm going to stand in front of him. So imagine the ice wizard is like standing right here, and then the dog would be coming at me from behind. I stand like this, and then I flame like that, and then I charge. I try to flame past the dog before charging, because if you flame and then charge an enemy too quick, you'll bonk, and then it won't work, because you have to get to Zoe pretty quickly. So I make the camera like this, and then I turn my stick up, and then charge. So I try to show that here. So you come in, I run over here, I turn the camera, I do that, and I run to Zoe. And it may seem like that's really close, but you can make it, as long as you don't bonk, it's good. So then from here, I'm just gonna run, and then take a death in the lava. So now I have the save. I take the death, make sure she saves you. Okay, so I did it right. As you can see, I have 6 souls, and both of them are there. For running under Zoe, where is she? Why is she gone? She's normally standing like here. She's normally like here, so I try to run underneath her, and then I turn around. What you need to know is, like, if you're too slow getting to the save, like getting the save from Zoe, she will... Yeah, so see, she's there. I try to run like directly under her. If you're too slow, you'll probably miss the snow bunny or the snow dog, whatever they are. But you'll get the ice wizard. If you have neither of them and you have 6 souls, it means that you were too slow, just in its entirety. But yeah, after doing that, if you have one of them there, you can just redo the soul dupe with just one of them and get the extra kill that way. Or if you don't get one of the souls here, you'll just have to do soul dupe twice. But after you have them both killed, if you get neither of these on the soul dupe, I would reset, honestly. Or you can pay the 200 gems for the bridge, but that's a little slower because you have to collect 200 more gems. And you have, at this point, I have like 80 gems. So you'd have to collect like 110 gems from here, which is a lot. And then you'd have to make up those gems in other places. So after you're done killing them and you have 6 and you have both of them there, I'd recommend practicing this, and you can redo it and practice it as many times as you want. I run, I kill, jump across, kill both with one flame, kill. I had to redo the take because I accidentally got a soul not counting. So there's a vase here that I get, which is 10 gem. And I run, get the kill, there's some gems here, and then get the kill here. And then you have 15. And then after that, you jump over here and come to here. Now, getting up to here, so here's the bridge. Actually a really cool bridge, really snake bridge. So here I'll show you. So if I just try to fly up, there's this height cap. Like, I can't fly any higher than this. It just, game won't let me. Because that's how they try to block you and, you know, force you to play and pay the 200 gems, but I don't want to do that. So, there's something that we can do called a height cap break. And what a height cap break is you make the game think that you're flying downwards when you're actually flying upwards, because then it won't apply the height cap to you. So, we do this by holding the slightest amount up on the left stick, like probably almost to where you can't see it on the controller input. So it's so slight, and then after you do that, then you press down on the D-pad for like a second, and it'll let you fly. It'll make you fly up, but you'll still be holding the up input, which actually is telling the game that you're going down when you're not. So I'll try to show it here. So I go up, and then I ran into the wall. I'll go do that again. Oh. I don't want to talk to you, Shaman Tick. So I go, and then I do that, and you see how I'm just like completely flying past it. If I let go of the stick, I fall back below it. But as long as you have to hold the left stick input the entire time, you don't hold the D-pad input. So I like to do this where I hold the left stick with my thumb, my right thumb, and then I press down on the D-pad with my left thumb. So, hold the left stick, press up, and then you can angle. You can angle with the left and right and up on the D-pad. Those won't change it, but if you press down, you'll get like snap down. So you can see I'm above the height cap. So if I try to fly now, I just get pulled back down to it. So if I go like here, I just get pulled back down. So height caps can be a little weird. We have to do one later in the run, which is a better spot for practicing because this one's kind of tight. But I just go in, and I hold that, and I let go. There's some tutorials. Zik goes over in it in his guide, and I believe there's a tutorial maybe from Crody, and I think maybe Toasted Cat has one as well about how to do it. But yeah, if you have any questions, just, you know, message in the Discord. So hold that left stick, press down, and then you get up here. And once you get up here, I try to land here. There's some 2 gems that you might collect, and I run around the right side here. So I try not to get that fodder. So I get these 2 things. And you'll notice that there's no enemies here because we're not supposed to be here yet, so they're not spawned in. So I run right here, and then the one spawns in. Oh yeah, nice. And then from here, I go flame. I get that guy with 1 flame. I go boom boom, kill that guy, kill that guy, kill that guy. And what this does now is you just have to flame the 3rd guy. There's a 10 gem in this, so you can get 12 gems here. So if you flame, and then if you flame this guy and it's the last guy, you can actually run in and hit that bottle without taking damage. Or you can just flame it and then just stand in front of him and talk to him. I don't get the 10 gem just because it teleports you back, so it adds a little bit of time. Collect the talisman. And then there's a 5 gem in this one, a 5 gem in this one, and then a 25 gem in this one. So if you really are behind gems, this is a good spot to get 35. But after you're done, same with Colossus, we're going to warp back to Autumn Plains. And that's Crystal Glacier. Just practice Heightcap. That's the big thing. You just got to practice it. So you guide back out of there because we think it helps with a later trick with level storage. So from there, you're just going to run, and you're just going to go into Breeze Harbour. So this level has a new strategy from Toasted Cat, actually. He found this a couple weeks ago. So you skip the cutscene, and then there's a flame. You have to flame a fireplace there, and it'll activate a whirlwind there. what you're gonna do is you're gonna kill that first bucket, and then when you flame the fireplace, that second bucket is gonna he's gonna race you basically. You have to get from there to the whirlwind. It's pretty lenient, you have a lot of time. So we're just gonna, you know, kill the bucket, flame, turn around, and you'll see he'll come over. But as long as we're in it before he does it, we're good. From here, you know, there's some gems here. There's 5 and a 2. There's a bunch of 2 gems over there. So, like, if you're really down on gems, you can. But I don't get any of these gems. I just run straight here. So from here, I like to try to, like, nudge myself into this corner, because we're going to try to get up onto the trolley track. So from here, I try to aim for the right side of this window. I missed it. Try to aim for, like, the right side to the middle of the window. And then you can't really stand on it. As long as you're holding forward, you can walk into it. But I try to do it really quickly. So I jump, I land, and then I jump and do a perfect hover up to here. This one can be a little tricky just with the movement. But it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. So you just jump in, jump up. I try to, like... That can happen too, where you just kind of glide past it. Yeah, this is what you want to do. I just push in, I jump up, hold in. I try to hold in as much as possible, and then boom, we're up. So you're coming in, and then from here, I know, like, I can charge jump off like this, but what I'm looking at is that. So if you get up, you can just charge jump, glide, and you're on the trolley track, and then we can do the big skip to the boat. So the way the boat works, first off, you're gonna run to this gear. So make sure not to jump from that gear. So you jump across the gap, you get to this gear, and then you turn left and jump. You charge jump off, because you can make it. You make it onto the boat. So I like to aim for about this corner, because, I'm just gonna kill him. That firefighter, if you go like here, sometimes he'll just be on a bad cycle and he'll shoot you and you'll fall off. And I don't want to fall off. So this area has some good gems. There's a 10 gem in here, a 10 gem in there, 10 gem, 5 gem, and then 10 gem, 5 gem on the other side. I get like none of these because you don't really need them. So I just come here. There's 2 strategies here. There's the one strategy is you run around, you flame the 2 fireplaces, and then you kill the bucket, and then that'll raise the boat. But that's slow. There's a little cutscene that plays. It's not that fast. This trick I'm about to show you saves about 5 to 6 seconds. So you run here. I don't get any of those 2 vases. I come here, I get this 10, and then I jump here. I try to jump it around these 2 like circles right here. Like this one that my foot is on, and then this one. That's where I try to go. So we're gonna try to get onto the pipe, and then we're gonna try to get onto the boat. So we're gonna do another perfect hover. This jump is a little scary because you're over a pit. If you mess it up, you die. So I hold forward at the beginning of the jump, and then I glide left. So I jump up, and I died. You can come down here, though. So I jump, hold forward, glide a bit left, and hover. It's just a perfect hover, but it can be a little scary because you're over the pit. Just don't be too hasty on the hover. Like that, I land on the thing, and the camera can be a little wonky, so I push the camera right on my stick a bit, and then I jump up to here. And then from here, you're just going to charge jump off, because if you see the angle you're at, you're going to get to that little section on the boat. So I'm going to see, okay. The camera won't work. So I normally do this jump blind, but this is fine. So you jump, you glide, you hover to here. I like to hover here, and then I jump up here, and then I jump up here. You can actually run along this, but I've found that I've like bonked, so I like to just jump and then jump up here. You can, if you need to get some more gems, you know, get these 5s and maybe the 2s, but they're not needed if you don't need them. So, just in sequence again, I'll show you. So I come here, hover up, fall off, and then we come over here and just get the talisman. It's a little scary at first, so if you don't want to do the big strat, you can just... I'll show you what it looks like without doing the big strat also. But you should go for the big strat because it's cool. So for the big strat, I would sure start off by killing that guy. Goddamn. And I get that 10, flame, This is what you're skipping by doing that pipe jump. And normally the bucket is on a better cycle. And then this is what happens. This is what you're trying to skip. By getting onto the pipe. So then, once you get the talisman, you're out. And we're gonna go into our next level. So from Breeze Harbour, I just hold charge. If I'm down a fodder, I try to collect one of them. I just run straight into Skelos. Skelos is a very, 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 very quick level. So at the start, we are going to, we're here. We don't want to talk to any NPCs, so I'm going to hold right and jump. And I like to get that 5 gem, not too far out of the way. Now this cat can be a pain. I sometimes kill him, sometimes I don't. Just kind of how I'm feeling on the day. But I normally run past him, I jump, I get a 5 gem there. I run and jump to here, so you're going to have to do a wall glide here. So basically, also there's that cat. That cat will sometimes shoot you. That cat's a bitch. So if you want to try to kill that cat before doing the wall glide, just grab the rock that's at the beginning of the level and then just come here, aim, and shoot at him. So what I'm going to do, so I run up here, I jump to here, I snap the camera around to me, and then I'm going to jump, hold forward, and try to basically get around, jump as far along this wall as I can, and get around this rock, and I'm going to try to glide on this little, like, slanted area right here. And I'm going to hold in with the D-pad on the left, and that should give me a lot of height. So you jump forward, just held in a slight too much. You do that. I released it there, so I hold in to get the first bit. I'm just gonna kill them because I don't want to hear them yell. Sorry. What? Who shot me? Did that hit some? Wow. Yep. Oh, that guy hit me. Okay, so like I said, you come here, you hold in. You can also just tap in with the left stick or with the left D-pad. That can work too. But I like just holding in and then letting go. Like that. You can also, if you don't like the fast one, you can do it up to there. But I find I get hit more by the one cat if I do that. It's a little bit slower. It's like half a second, but... So you just try to make sure that you get around this kind of protruding rock right here. Because if you don't, if you're like here, you'll just like bonk on it. A lot. So you want to try to jump as far out and then do like that. Just tap. I like to tap in with the D-pad. It just gives a lot of height and a lot of height on wall glide. So, oh yeah, that's what happens when you don't go far enough. So then from here, I'm gonna run, and then if you need a fodder, also you can collect that guy, and then you talk to Glug and get the talisman. If you're having trouble with the wall glide, you can run around the entire level, but I don't like to do it. From Skelos, you just exit. And next up is our first Speedway level of the run. First and only is Metro Speedway. So I'm just gonna collect a frog. If you're down fodder like me, you can. So we normally, let's talk to Laura. Secret Whirlwind, if we have 6 orbs, we don't have any orbs, and Metro Speedway is right there. So we're gonna run up to here. This is where Zephyr is. This is our last level of the run, but we're not going to do it yet. We're going to jump in between these 2 pillars, and then we're going to jump up doing a perfect hover to that one. So similarly, we're going to jump as far as we can forward before starting the glide, and then just do a nice little hover up there. I do a little wiggle there. You can just like, you can do that. All up to you. Just get up here. Now, the fastest way to get around here is to get up here and do like this. But I'm not good at it. So what I do, I just run along. Here. So I get up to here, and I just run along. And then you're gonna jump. And then you're gonna jump to here. And then we're at Metro. So, Metro Speedway, and Speedways in general, there is a fastest route that we have that we try to do. It takes a lot of practice, especially Metro. Metro is a pretty difficult level. Just as focus when you're first starting out, just focus on finishing it. That's all. You just gotta finish it. Because it's 400 gems, even if you take a lot longer than a good Metro, you can still do pretty well on it. Because it's a minute, let's say like a minute, even a minute 15 for 400 gems. So I'm just going to do the movement. A good metro is around 46 to 48 seconds. There's also something at the end called an animation skip. We call it the Randy pause because it was something, it wasn't discovered by me, but it was refound by me. If you pause after collecting the last item in the Speedway, you can actually just, you see at the bottom, you see how there's a gem counter and an orb counter. So that'll show something at a 400 in Metro and 0 to 1 for the orbs. So if you pause it at the right frame, it'll show 400 to 400 gems before the animation plays of Spyro. And you can just quit and you'll still get the gems even though the animation doesn't play. If you miss the pause, it's 4 seconds. If you get the pause and it says 320, just try to unpause and repause quickly. If it says 240, just try to unpause and repause quickly. Yeah, just get in and try to show you. Like I said, this level takes a lot of practice. I put a lot of hours into practicing it, so hopefully I can do well. Okay, so you can see there that I had to do the pause 3 times because I didn't get the right thing I didn't get the right pause at the right time, but that's fine. So you see the 400 at the bottom, and normally after this point, if I unpause, Spyro will do like a twirl animation up, and all the items will go around him. So you can just quit, and then it'll say 320, but you'll get 400. You'll see it here. The reason why we also complete it is so that we're going to try to store that Speedway later in the run. So we want to try to have as many, or if we have it completed, instead of the timer counting down, it counts up. It counts up to 10 minutes, which is more than enough time for anything that we need to do. So from Metro, we're going to get to our first Climbless part of the run. We're going to run over here, and then we're going to jump here, because we're going to try to make this jump from there to there. So this is one of the jumps that's like really, really difficult. There's 2 ways to make this jump. You can come here and people roll in and then try to jump onto there from here and then jump over. I find it better to be up here from there, but it's all personal preference. So I try to line Spyro's hair up. Just kind of try to be like kind of on a right angle with the thing. And then I'm just going to charge off, and then try to get up there. So as you can see, I aimed here, and got there. This jump is a little finicky, even with the effect that after waiting the 75 to 90 minutes. But this jump is doable once, well, it is doable before, but it's much easier, much more viable. You're gonna want, I try to aim for like right here, just slightly around this corner, because you can see that there's like a little bit of a wall here, so I try to aim about here, just right at this first pillar. You want to try to make as little movements in the air as possible, though, while you're gliding. So that's why you saw me, like, I would charge jump straight and then, like, immediately turn instead of trying to, like, adjust. So from here, instead of going to Fracture, we're going to actually go up the stairs to Scorch. So we're going to click these 2. The fastest way to climb these stairs, which has been tested, is you need to get up to the 2nd stair. You can do this, and then you can just jump up each step. If you want to see a cool way to get up the stairs, you can actually charge run and jump up the right side by and you won't bahunk. It's kind of slow, but it's pretty funny. But just as long as you get up the stairs, even if you bonk up the stairs, it's whatever. And we're going to enter Scorch. So Scorch, very difficult. Not very difficult level, but your perfect hovers and wall glides will be tested here a bit. So from the start, we don't want to talk to Greta at all. So we're gonna run left, collect these two, run to here. If you're down gems, which I'm not, you can collect those. So then we're gonna try to perfect hover up to here. I like just doing that. But up to you how you get it. If you want to like do a little wiggle, that's up to you. I'm not too fancy on the wiggle here. I just come to here. I'd look that way. Just quick and easy. If you're down a lot of gems, this is where you get it. You would just charge into this, and then all these would blow up, and you can collect them pretty fast. But otherwise, you can just run along here. From here, you're gonna charge jump off, and then you're gonna flame this guy. You don't have to flame that second guy. So normally that guy will be standing here, and you can flame and turn. There's not a skip yet to skip putting down this last bridge, but maybe there is. I'm not sure. From here, we're gonna try to get up to that button because we need to hit it. So there's a couple ways to do it. A way you can do it is coming to here, doing a wall glide. I haven't done this wall glide in months, so you can do this wall glide. I'm just gonna kill that guy. You can run to here, set up like with your back right foot on the rock. Just do a wall glide up, or the easier way, which is the Overwatch groovy method that he stole from Crody that I do that everyone does now because it's much easier. Is I run to here, and then I get here, and then I just tap in with the right stick or with the right D-pad rather. And you can hover up, and it's much easier, less camera movement, because you're going to be coming from this way anyways, rather than having to turn the camera and do that. But up to you. If you want to do this way, if it's easier, you do you. But yeah, you just jump up, and there's a spot where you kind of like won't really bonk. You have to like turn in pretty hard to bonk. You also want to be, there's like, see how it kind of is like almost a corner like right here? You want to be in front of that corner so you can get that. Yeah, just jump, neutral jump, tap in with the right D-pad, and then hover. And then I hit the button. If you're really having trouble with both the wall glides and you just can't get them, you can do this and it'll lose about 4 seconds. You can come up to here, jump, and then jump up here. But normally what it'll look like is this. I'll try to do it in momentum. So I come here, I flame, I charge, I do that, and then I turn. Because we're going to be running that way anyway, so you can turn just a bit before the cutscene starts. So once the bridge is down, it's pretty simple. You just run to the end and collect the talisman from Greta. I jump here to not get shot by that guy. Let's collect your talisman and then exit level. So I have a lot more gems. At this point, you should probably have somewhere in the vicinity of about, probably like 560 to 580 gems, I think. Depending on what gems you get. But I've just been collecting some extra gems just by accident. So from Scorch, we're just running down to Fracture. Just hold charge, try to keep a straight line. Fracture is the most simple level you have ever seen. It is very, not very long, but pretty long, because the whole shtick of this level is that you have to break these satyrs, and then they'll play music and break open the temple where Bila is, which will give you the talisman. So you just have to come in here, break the break the satyr, and then skip their cutscene by spamming triangle. The ones that have dialogue are the 1st, the 5th, and the 6th. Satyrs 2 through 4 don't have dialogue. So after this, I jump here, grab those, maybe grab one of those two of those twos, just depending on how Sparks is feeling. Come here. So after this guy, you'll always be facing, your camera will be facing the direction that you are after, like, before you hit the thing. So I run here. I don't always get this 10 gem. There's a 10 gem in here. I don't always get it, but if you're down gems, you can grab it. Then I run here. I just jump across this. I jump, flame. There's also a fodder here, so you want to make sure you're on full sparks here. So you see how my camera stayed the same, but Spyro didn't? I just hold forward and charge. You can make it up that. Come here. Get the 4th one. You want to be at full sparks leaving this level, because you absolutely need to be at full sparks for the next part. So you can get that pig if you need it. So you skip, and then you run here. You kill this tree, and you just keep running. I tried to kill him before he hit me. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll go get that fodder because I need it. So imagine I didn't get this. Imagine I needed that fodder, and what you can do is flame them both, and sparks will collect the fodder. So that tree and that bush, if you just flame the tree and then run, that bush won't hit you. Now there's a bush here. There's a bush on the right that'll want to chase you. But if you come here and then just cut across this, you'll make it before he attacks you. So you can, I'll try to show it. So you come here and you just cut across, keeping that charge, and you'll make it before he gets there. If you can't do it and you're having trouble, you can just, oh, he followed me up pretty far. I wouldn't have gotten hit if I just ran to the talisman. But if you, now you're coming in, and you just run to the talisman. If you're having trouble, you can just come up and kill him, and then I just run, get this last 6 later. But I try to skip having to flame him because you can hold your charge longer. So after he's free, that's the 6th one. Holy, I just can't not take hits. Oh, 1 sec, I'm just gonna get this fodder. Oh no, I'm gonna die. He spiked me. That's pretty funny. I'm actually gonna keep that in because that was pretty funny. I need fodder. Hopefully you're a life. Please be a life. Bruh, I need a life. Whatever. Oh, okay, that was a life. Perfect. Alright, so let's just pretend that none of that happened. I didn't take damage. I'm a good player, I swear. You kill this guy, or kill him. You flame him, whatever, and then after here you can just kind of run, charge jump off, hover up to here, and then you're running straight to the talisman room. I try to keep a pretty nice line, and you just talk to her. Again, there's 30 gems in here, but we just don't need them. We have a bunch of gems, so. From here, here's exit level. Alright, from leaving Fracture, we need to get to Magma Cone. So, there's only one option, because this door, we need to have 8 orbs to open this door. We have 0. So, what we're going to do, is we're going to come in and do a pretty easy jump. We're just going to charge jump, glide, and then hover up. So, charge jump, glide, hover up. This jump seems a little scary when you're first starting, like, obviously because of the pit, but it's not too bad. Just be confident. You got it. And run here. Again, if you're down gems, it's a 10 gem in there that you can collect, but otherwise just run in. So, Magma Cone. This is Climbless Magma Cone. Climbless Magma Cone isn't too difficult. I don't find it too bad, but it can definitely be a little weird when you're first starting out. So first off, as you can see, there's a bunch of ladders, but we don't have climb. So we're gonna have to jump across this entire pit, which isn't too hard. You just charge jump off, glide, hover, and we should make it up. If you miss this jump and end up in the pit, you're gonna have to quit game, continue, because otherwise you can't get out. There's no way to die in there, there's nothing. So we're gonna be doing a jump from there, but first we need to kill 2 enemies, because there's a fly power-up gate that we need open, and it has a 2 enemy requirement. So we gotta kill him, and then we're gonna turn around. This guy's hammer reaches so far, so I try to stay, like, literally, look how far that reaches. That reaches there. So I try to stay right here. And then I come up to here, and you're gonna do another perfect hover up here. So the big reason why, there's a fodder here, but you obviously don't wanna wait for this to, you know, set off and whatnot. So this has, I think, 21 gems in it. Let's see what am I at now. 702, I think this has 21 gems. How many gems do I got? Yeah, this has 21 gems. So after hitting it like that, you're gonna run and collect this fodder, because you need to be at full fodder here. So we're gonna try to get a jump up to out of bounds from here. So there's a little section on here, you can kind of see it, where the ground is a bit higher. It's like here. You're gonna do that instead of doing a coyote time jump. I've kind of not really said it, but coyote time is, you have a lot of time after being on a ledge to jump. So like, just look at how much time you have to jump. You can be completely off the ledge and get a jump, but we don't want to do a coyote time jump here. We're just going to jump, charge jump, glide, and then hover up here. This jump becomes exceptionally easier after the wait time, which is why especially why we do the wait. So you come here, and then hover up here. This jump can be a little tricky when you're first starting out with doing it, but just jump from that grass piece that I did and jump up. If you know you're gonna fail, if you're like, I did not get enough height on that jump, abandon it and glide to here, and then just redo it. Otherwise, if you fall in the pit, you would have to re-enter, go kill 2 enemies, and go up again. So, obviously, perfect hover. Come here, you're gonna charge, jump from the elevated, then you're gonna come up here. So now, when you're here, this may be scary, but most of what's here you can stand on, but there's a hole here. So I'm gonna, once I get up, I pretty much hug the left, but I know to jump right before this hole. So I try to jump here, and then from here, you can't really see it, but you can walk along this. So then I'm holding charge, and then you get to here. Now here, I'm gonna try to aim for that little piece of rock that's like protruding right there, because we're gonna try to land on another piece of out of bounds area. So we're gonna jump here, charge jump, glide off. Then we're gonna hover up to this little corner. If you miss it and fall to the depths, you're gonna have to quick aim continue. If you miss it, try to just try to glide into the lava that's down there and just take the death. It's faster. Also, if you don't think you're gonna make the hover, hover from underneath it and it'll pull you up. So normally what we would do if we had climb, we would just charge jump across here and then go climb. But because we don't have climb, we have to get a little creative. So behind this rock that's in front of me, there's another little out of bounds area that we're gonna try to stand on. So I like to just do a neutral jump off, or I hold forward and jump, and then I glide to it. So I'll do that, and I missed. So if that happens, like I said, just try to get over here to take the death. I'm gonna cut this out and I'll bring it back up. But that's the piece we're aiming for. So like I said, you just wanna jump and glide and out. You wanna try to be out pretty far from that rock, just because there's an invisible hitbox that you can bonk on. So then from here, we're gonna try to make it to that corner there. If you're having trouble getting to the corner, just jump to that one rock that's in the middle there. Yeah. So you charge jump, glide off. I try to go in the middle here, and you get to here, and you try to land right here. If you take damage, you have to go take a death, because you need gold sparks. You just need it. So from here, we're gonna try to do a little wall glide on this little slant here. So I'm gonna jump and hold forward, and then tap in with the left D-pad. You don't have to hold forward the whole time, just similar to like how we jumped forward in Skelos and Breeze and whatnot. So you're gonna jump forward a bit, do a little hover. That jump can be a little scary, but just as long as you get past that little corner and get onto the slant, you should have no problem if you tap in with the left D-pad. So from here, the reason why we need gold sparks is we're going to try to damage boost off of this lava. And then we're going to try to get into that fly gate and go up to the talisman. So, the way to do it is, as you can see, there's rocks falling. But if you just go pretty much after the rock kind of clears, you can go after it clears Spyro, but I try to go after, I put the camera about to here, and then once it comes onto my screen, I go. And what you're going to do is, you may think, oh, you can glide over, hover in, and then just kind of take it up. You're going to not hover. You're just going to charge jump off, glide into the lava, and then you're going to hold up on the left stick and spam the ever-living fuck out of X. And you'll take 3 damages, and then you're going to turn left, glide, and hover up to there. It is a little finicky at the start, but you should be able to get it. So I'm just going to look here. And then go. So I'm spamming the absolute fuck, and then you can hover up here. That's why we need the full 3. You can't do it on 2 or 1, unfortunately. So, like I said, you just want to charge jump, glide off, hit the lava, and then just hold up, and you're spamming as hard as you can that jump button. So then once you get to here, very simple, you just grab the fly power up, and then talk to Bippo, or whatever his name is. Get the talisman. And we're heading out. So normally around here, because you have 0 sparks, you want to be a little higher gem count than you normally are. So I have way more gems. I have about 100 more gems, 90 more gems than I normally would want, just from getting other gems. But what you want to do is normally you want to be at around 630 coming out of Magma Cone, because we're going to go buy a level for 400 gems. We're going to go buy Shady Oasis. So there's a 10 gem in that if you're a little low. The absolute limit to entering Shady Oasis is 221. That's if you get everything that's on the way and get like just absolutely everything that's in your way. But because you don't have sparks, it's a little tougher. So we try to enter with maybe 230, just because there's some gems you might have to skip at the start. So you run along. There's also a 10 gem here, but again, you only really need it if you're a little low. So we talk to Moneybags. We pay $400 for an auto-scroller. This is going to be our first auto-scroller. And only, really. So, as with everything, we come in. So the bit with this level is that Shorty, the hippo right there, she will only break the doors if she eats one of the magic berries. If they're a cherry or an apple, whatever, I just call them magic berries. So we have to hit them off the tree, and then we're going to try to go collect a bunch of stuff while she's breaking down the door. So normally if you just run here and you'll talk to her and she'll have a dialogue, but we can skip that dialogue if we just charge jump and flame the tree early enough. So we just like, I didn't do it fast enough. So normally what it looks like is they'll do like that. And then I try to collect these. See how like it's harder to collect gems because you have to absolutely touch them. So you might skip a couple of those like I just did there. But you need to be at least at 4. You need to be at 400 at the end of the level. So Shorty, you can see it there. She has spots where she's gonna stop, no matter what. So you kind of want to try to be by her as soon as she's at those spots. So I'll try to let them play out wherever. So normally I try to get that one, but I don't always get that 5. So there's another spot there. So you want to be by her here. And then you're gonna come over here, be by her here. And then she's going to have another spot here. And then she's also going to have that spot there. So she has a spot here and a spot here. So I try to stay with her until she starts that second run. And then I run and I kill this guy. Because normally he's not standing where he was. Normally he's like here, which will be in the way. Then I jump up here. Get that. Grab these. And then you get your first fodder. So you're back at green. Turn around. Now for this enemy doesn't, if you go too close and just like stand up on the gate while Shorty is there, while Shorty's coming, she'll activate and she'll kill, or she'll try to hit you too early. This part of the video is mainly for Bobby Bill, because Bobby Bill has a lot of trouble with this. So you just kind of stand back while Shorty breaks the door. You come up, just jump, flame. I also flame this one. So Shorty has some spots here, I believe. Yeah, so Shorty has spots here, but what you do is as soon as you get over and as soon as Shorty gets here and starts going, you just hop up, you come here, I kill this guy, and I also kill that guy because sometimes Shorty gets in the way. He gets in the way of Shorty, rather. So just collecting these gems. There's also a backup. If let's say, you know, you flame the... You try to flame the tree, and let's just say, because this would totally never happen, and definitely has never happened to me, that the guy's sword blocks your flame from hitting that. What you can do is you come here, and you just do a little perfect hover up, and you can hit it. That's kind of a backup. So here, Shorty stops there, but if you're fast enough, you can actually go and collect these two before she gets there, and then you can turn around. Your goal with this is just to be moving while Shorty's moving. So see, she just has like all these spots where you want to be right beside her at all times. You can kind of veer off and get stuff. So kill, kill, kill. You can flame this and then run around here. So again, Shorty has a spot there. I like to jump and flame that guy, because sometimes she has a spot here. So from here, I grab this rock, I grab these 3, I try to charge into that guy, and then I aim and shoot, and that hits the tree. Then I collect. So I'm pretty over gemmed, obviously. You don't have to kill that guy. I just like to sometimes. But the last amount of gems you need leaving this area, leaving this room, is 354. If you're at 354, you can get all the gems and you'll be fine. But, so with the 354, that also includes getting these 3 5 gems. And then you'll be at 400. But if you're a bit over, which you normally are because of Climbless, just because there's so many gems, you can just run and talk to Cordy. From after getting the talisman, instead of exiting level, we're going to guidebook warp to Metro as a sort of fast travel to get back to buying Zephyr, which is our final level. Final regular level before boss fights. So Zephyr, 400 gems. And we have that. We have 477. Normally I'd have about just maybe like 400 or 405. We're gonna jump here. We're just gonna glide. We're just gonna talk to Moneybags, buy the level, and enter. Zephyr is a level where your perfect hovers are gonna be tested even more. There is 1, 2, 3. 3 and 3 tough ones. So off the start, you're gonna be here. Off the start, you can just hold up and left. And we're gonna try to hover and land up there. Or if you're not too comfortable with doing it right off the start, you're gonna run here and you're gonna try to wall glide off of that little slanted area and then jump onto the big rock there. So you're gonna charge jump off, glide, and hover up to here. You wanna make sure you get pretty far into that rock and then get up top. And then you can walk around here. This, you're gonna feel weird. So I try to line up with this little dot here, and then this plant that's right here, I try to run kind of to the right of the leaf that's sticking up. And you're gonna charge jump off, and then you're going to charge into a different area from out of bounds. So it'll look kind of weird, but I'll just try to show you. You'll just get the hang of it by doing it more. Try to aim where I'm aiming. So I run here, and then I try to stay right of the green, and then I end up here. If you go too far left and go through the green, you can hit this fountain from out of bounds, and you'll sometimes bonk off it and fall, and if you fall out of bounds, you just have to quit the game and like do quick game continue. So after that bird that was in here, he's in a random spot every time. So if he's by the stairs, I try to kill him or else he'll hit you. And then you run up here after you get into here. I come over here, I kill this guy. And normally these 2 birds are on a pretty good cycle. And you run along the left here, and one bird will shoot the other, and then you can jump up and do that. So I'll try to show that again. Just let this guy through. So I run along the side here. The one bird shoots the other, I kill the bird, and then I turn around and come to here. From here, you're gonna do another perfect hover, a little wall glide, and you're gonna make sure you're jumping from this brick that's raised, because it has the, give you some height. So I jump here, I tap in, like a pretty long tap with the left stick, and then I hold pretty much down right, and it'll bring up to here. This trick can be a little weird when you're first starting out. So if you need to, you can just run around and then jump up to the bridge, but it's slow. We like going for hard strats, right? This isn't a pretty advanced route, so. So then you come to here. Then from here, you come over here, and you jump, charge jump off, glide to this TNT. If you miss one of the birds, you're gonna wanna try to wait on the bridge for them to shoot at you, and hopefully they'll aggro to you and you can kill them then. If they don't, you're just gonna have to hopefully try to deal with doing this jump while a bird might be shooting at you. So for this jump, we're gonna try to get on top of the TNT, because we can get in there. So I try to get as far left as I can. I then look straight forward at the corner. I'm gonna jump, tap in a couple times to the left, and then hover up top. So I jump and do that. There are different ways to do it. Some people do this jump where they like hold down and do that. I'm not a big fan of that, but if you want to try it and it's easier for you, absolutely go ahead and do it, as long as you can get up there. But I jump and get up. And then once you get in here, you just fall down and talk to Corporal Glug. And that is the final level before the boss fights. So, after you come out of here, you're going to get warped to Gulp's Overlook, to the entrance to Gulp's Overlook. So you're talking to Laura, she says, well done! Alright, so now we're at Gulp's Overlook. And this is what the run hinges on, is something called level storage. We're going to attempt to store a Speedway level in the background of the game, so we can have Superfly and Supercharge anywhere in the overworlds. And in levels, also. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do something similar to Glimmer Wrong Warp, where we're going to pause on the first frame of entering Gulp's portal. So, what that'll look like is the same thing, where you pause, and it'll show Gulp's Overlook at the bottom, you'll have exit level. We're going to exit level. And then it's going to put you in front of one of two speedways, either Metro or Icy Speedway, both the speedways that are in this homeworld of Autumn Plains. You'll know this by the color of the screen after you get the pause. It'll either show a purple screen denoting Metro Speedway, or it'll show an orange screen denoting Icy Speedway. We want the purple screen because that's the speedway that we've unlocked and have completed. So, the thing is obviously we haven't done Icy Speedway, and we aren't going to, but if you're feeling not so confident in getting Metro, or like it's taking a couple times, I would advise buying Icy Speedway for 100 gems, so just collecting some extras on your way. And then if you want, you can complete it, or else, if you don't complete it and just have it unlocked, you'll only have a 30-second timer to do the things you need to do, rather than the timer counting up like it will because we've already completed Metro. So with that out of the way, also I guess I'll explain. If you do only have the 30-second timer from Icy Speedway, if you're like, yeah, I don't want to do the Speedway, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get into Ripto using the Heightcap, which I'll show after this, in 30 seconds, which is doable. And then you'll have to, once you enter Ripto, guidebook back to Icy Speedway, and then guidebook back to Ripto, and that'll deload your level storage, and you have to do the fight as normal, which will be slower than with level storage, but it saves waiting the 90 minutes, so it's give and take, up to you. So, if we get the purple screen, or the orange screen, what we're going to do is the cutscene is going to play, and we're going to wait to hear Spyro's feet hit the ground. So we're going to wait until we hear this. And you'll hear Spyro's feet hit the ground. Once you hear the feet hit the ground, we're going to blindly, we're going to move while the cutscene's playing to enter the portal. So if it's purple, it's Metro. So if it's Metro, we're going to do down right on the D-pad for one step, and then down. And that'll put us back into the portal. And then if it's Icy, you're going to press L2, and then you're going to hold down right for 2 steps, and then down. And that'll put you into the portal. You'll know you'll be entering into the portal when you see the bottom right will have a Spyro saving icon. That's how you know you're in. After you've entered the portal, you're gonna load, like the level's gonna load. So then once you're in the level, you'll hear the music start. You're gonna spam pause. And then once you get the pause menu to come up, how it works in a Speedway is it'll be on quit, and then if you press quit, it'll then go to a retry or a quit level menu. So it's going to end up being on retry, so you pause, you press X, and then let's say it was this. It would say reject or quit, and you're going to be on reject, and you're going to, or retry, not reject. You're going to spam X to select retry, And then as soon as you see the saving icon in the bottom right corner again, you're going to spam triangle to skip the cutscene. And then what that'll do is you'll respawn in Gulp after you skip, or you'll spawn in Gulp after skipping the cutscene, and you'll just be standing there, no timer, no nothing, and you'll have to go take an intentional death, and then after the intentional death, you're going to let, you'll have the power-ups. If you have the power-ups and the timer before taking the intentional death, it means you did it too slow, which is a soft lock. Also, if you try to do this without buying Icy and you get the orange and you get Icy Speedway, that is also a soft lock. If you miss the portal and don't get in before the cutscene ends, that's a soft lock. But this setup seems hard, but it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. Also, I'm going to say I let Gulp hit me on the intentional death. I let Gulp hit me last because then he won't attack me. So let's try it. Okay, so I got the pause. We're just going to exit level. And we got purple. So this is Metro. So I'm going to listen and wait for Spyro's feet to land, and then I'm going to do down right first step and then down. So you see the saving icon on the bottom. So now I'm waiting for the level to load. So I've paused the game, and I'm going to spam X. And you normally do this much faster, but I'm explaining. You spam X, and then as soon as you see the saving icon at the right, you're going to spam triangle to skip the cutscene. So quit, retry. I might have done it too slow. We'll see. Hopefully I didn't do it too slow. So I don't have the timer, so it means that I'm in Metro Speedway, but I'm actually in Gulp. So I'm going to take the death. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. I'm going to let Gulp kill me. And then after that, Gulp won't attack me at all unless you hit him with like a barrel. So I'm just going to charge into him 9 times. And then if you want, you can try to fly up and hit Ripto and get the skill point. I decided after recording to just include how to do Icy Speedway. So orange, which means icy. So we're just going to wait and listen for Spyro's feet to land.
Go. We finally made Avalar ours.
Okay, they landed. L2. Down right for 2 steps, and then down, and we're in. We saw the saving icon, so now we're just going to spam pause.
Here you go.
Spam X, saving icon, and then spam triangle. And that's how you do Icy Speedway. Same thing also as Metro. If you don't see the timer, we're just going to take the intentional death. I'm going to let Gulp hit us. And then hit Gulp. Cool. Now into Winter Tundra. So normally, I did this on a save file that had both of them completed, because I didn't want a soft lock. So normally there's a cutscene after Winter Tundra, or after Gulp going into Winter Tundra. So now we're in Winter Tundra, which is the final homeworld. And we can see there's Ripto's arena up top there. So what we're going to do, normally Allura is here as well. If you talk to Allura, you lose your flight. So we can see that we're above the height cap. And what we're going to do is we're going to charge jump off because we have supercharge, and then we're going to fly. And then we're going to do a height cap again, like we did in Crystal Glacier. So I start the height cap here, I hold up, and then I try to get over this wall, and then normally you end up in that thing. I tried not to. If you end up falling below here, what I recommend is coming to here, and then doing another height cap. Oh, I'm a bit high. So the height cap is pretty closer. So I recommend coming here and then doing a height cap to get into the level again. or get into Ripto's thing. You can do it. I'm just not doing it because I want to show the other way. So, we have our flight. We're going to do a Heightcap again. If you mess up the Heightcap, I'll show you what it looks like. So let's say you start to like kind of fly down like that, and you'll just like bonk. And then that means it's bad. Or if you start it too high, you won't get it. So if I try to start it here, oh, I got it. Let's see, where is it? It's here. If I try to start it like here, it probably won't give it to me. Yeah, it won't give it to me because I'm too close. So you want to start it pretty low. I try to, when I jump off, I go at this second tree here. I go here. So the best bet is you want to get completely over it like this, and then as soon as you see the castle disappear, I just charge down and I charge into the middle of it. Again, I just missed it because I want to show another thing. Oh, I'm gonna choke.
Redeem channel point reward, no choking.
Redeem channel point reward, end run.
You guys are welcome to join the Discord, is what I was saying. That was weird. I just flamed on like the same frame I touched the dragon statue, so the flame's coming out, but it didn't like do the animation.
But if you start to kind of curve down, and you don't think you're gonna make it over the wall because there's a wall here, which is why we have to do the Heightcap. So try to aim for the wall. So there's a wall here, which is why we can't do the Heightcap. But if you start something like this, you can glide here, and there's a hole here. Just as long as you keep your left stick input the whole time, that slight up on the left stick, you can make it in. And then it's just as simple as walking past this third painting of... Or, not this painting. Do these paint? Oh, the second painting. Yeah, that's Heightcap. You just gotta get good at Heightcaps. They're not too bad once you kind of get the hang of them. Don't be scared of doing them. Just try them out, experiment with stuff. Yeah. If you need some help, just ask anyone in the Discord or ask me. But Heightcaps, just remember, slight up input on the left stick, and then you press down on the D-pad for a second, and then you can angle and change where you are with the D-pad, but you have to keep the left stick in that input, and then never press down on the D-pad while you're in Heightcap, because then you'll just start going back down to Heightcap. So now that we're in Ripto, we talked to the Zoe, and we still have Supercharge for this first phase. So there's 3 phases. There's a phase where it's just him, there's a phase with Mecha Gulp, and then there's a phase where you're flying. This fight is all about just practicing it, getting good, because there is parts of RNG to it, and you just kind of have to react and just know kind of what he's kind of trying to do. So for the first thing, we have Supercharge, so we can just charge him 8 times instead of collecting 3 orbs and hitting him after that. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to collect 2 orbs, so then we have those 2 orbs collected for the second round, and we only have to collect 1, because the second phase will take away our Supercharge. So you're going to start off. I'm just going to charge 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go collect this orb. This is all random, so... Okay, now that I have the 2 orbs, I'm just going to kill him. And then this brings us to our second phase. Hunter faked through there, which is great. In this phase, what you're hoping for is a blue orb really close to him. If you get a blue orb that's really close to him, you can one-cycle him with 1 hit of the thing, because you can do double hits on this Mecha Gulp. The issue is it's RNG, so what I normally do is if he doesn't throw a blue orb on the first one, if it's a different color, I wait until he throws the second orb just to like give him the chance of throwing a blue one. I'll probably show you what a 1 cycle looks now. I'll put in a clip of it because I got one in my PB, so I'll show you that.
Where with that amount, maybe I'll change it.
Holy shit! Oh fuck!
What happened?
1 cycle. Oh. All right, I'm pretty cracked if I do say so myself. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I would approach this. Like I said, most of this is just practicing the fight, getting used to recognizing how things work. You can get double hits with every single one, but you can only 1 cycle with the blue. You can get up to 7 hits with green, and you can get 6 hits with red. But as long as you get at least 4 with them, then if you're gonna have to 2 cycle, it doesn't matter whether you get a bunch of hits the first time. Like, I mean, I guess like it sort of does, but it's still gonna take pretty much the same amount of time. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna see if he throws a blue. Okay, he threw another red, but the red's closer, so I'm gonna go. So there you see I'm getting double hits, just with the timing that I'm doing it. Oh, perfect. Get this green. Go get this other red, because I knew he left that one. And then let's get this green. So I missed the double hit there. And now we get to watch a 17-second unskippable cutscene in the final split. So phase 3, the first 6 hits, he's going to stay in the lower bowl of the arena, and then the last 2 hits, he's going to go around the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to hit him in specific spots. So off the start, we can kind of get him into a set pattern of aiming for certain spots. So I'm going to aim at this corner, he's going to get hit, and then I'm just going to keep following him. I'm going to get hit, then he's going to turn, he's going to get hit, I'm going to bonk into him, hit him there, oh, hit him there too. That was just pretty lucky. So then he's going to go around the outside. I try to lead him because he's going to turn in. And then that would be, whenever you get the last hit, that would be the end of, that would be time. And that's Spyro to 20% without needing climb. After Ripto defeated screen, I normally check my in-game time. Console doesn't need the in-game time. Obviously this one is 4 hours and 48 minutes because it was a practice save file. But after, you can go fly into Dragon Shores, and I like to go to the Tunnel of Love. So if you've made it this far, here's something for you, the Tunnel of Love. Normally I do this at the end of my runs to guess who's coming out. I'm gonna say the Professor this time. Oh, we got Master Chef. Nice. So, after runs, because you don't want to close the game because of the 90-minute wait time, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go warp back to Metro or Icy, whichever Speedway you did. Probably Metro if you're doing this route. And then you're gonna enter the level and then just leave the level. So I'll show you how that looks. So you just guidebook warp, and then nothing's gonna be in this level because it's all messy. Nothing's in the level. You're just gonna quit, and then quit, and then that deloads level storage. And then to start up another run, what I like to do is after leaving Metro, I run over to here. And then I try doing this jump again. And I check to make sure, because that was kind of a bad jump by me, but I check to make sure I either have or don't have the effect. And then if I have it or not, if I have it, then I just can quit game. I can quit game, start a new save, and instead of just going right into a run, I'm just going to go and exit Glimmer once from a new save, and then after you exit it once, you can start another run. But make sure to do that because that should put the counter in the background of the game back onto Metro. It's been working out for me. It's worked for House. Maybe we've just been lucky, but yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the guide. I hope you got something out of this if you watched to the end. I really appreciate it. Just gonna say thanks for watching all this. I just hope it helps anyone who's interested in learning the category. I think it's a really, really cool category. I just want to give a big shout out to Dr. House 6, who's my homie. He's helped with the guide, and he's absolutely pushed me to improve in 20%. I want to give a shout out to Lackluster again for finding a way to make Climbless more consistent overall. Really awesome to see the category being pushed super far. And just in general, shout outs to the Spyro community as a whole. Everybody in it's awesome. I love how much we've been finding strats and optimizations recently, and I just love our community. And then shout outs to anyone who tries to learn this category and a category in SRT. And then if you have any questions, like I said, join the Spyro Speedrunning Discord link below. Join my Discord and ask questions in that if you want. Or you can just DM me questions if you don't feel comfortable asking in a public space. That's all up to you. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Have a good one.